Get out the insurance cards, get out the copays. The office is open, my friends. Brought to you by drroto.com.
Hey there, everybody, it's Dr. Roto. Get out the insurance cards, get out the copay. The office is open, my friends. It's the New Year's edition, DFS Week 17, the main slate. Tons of games. I don't even know where to start. I mean, what is it, 13 games that we're looking at? That's a lot. It's a big slate. Willie, are you ready to take down this slate this week?
I'm ready, but over 9 or 10 of them, you just cut them right off. You know, I have no interest in them.
So would you feel that way? Do you feel like there's 3 or 4 games that you're eyeing and then the rest are maybe a one-off here, one-off there?
Did he say 9 or 10 or did he say F10? I missed that. Never mind, Doc. That was part of the show. Absolutely, Doc. I'm looking forward to, I think, just a handful of games on this slate. I think we'll have some games that might turn out to have something. You always got to look at it this time of year because I feel like guys could be playing for their careers, right? It could, and then we got a lot of folks who, are stepping in the lineups and getting opportunities. So we have to consider some things here.
I think we do. I think you're 100% right. There's a lot going on, a lot to break down. So let's kick it off. Las Vegas against Indianapolis, guys. Looks like Josh Jacobs is doubtful. Michael Pittman expected to play. Zamir White in play. I would argue that Devontae Adams and Jacoby Myers might be in play. But both defenses have played well. Willie, any part of this game you want? Any pieces you want? What are you into here?
I'm going to be honest with you. The only person I have an interest in is Zamir White. I mean, Zamir. That's the only one because you could run on the Colts. But let me tell you, the Raiders defense has sneakily been getting it on lately. They had like a 39% pressure rate. I mean, they were getting on Mr. Mahomes there. No thank you in this game. No thank you.
How much is Zamir White? I want to get that number down. I mean, that's a pretty good price. The problem is he doesn't catch anything. And he's going to be rostered by, what do you think, 35% of lineups here? Something crazy like that?
Well, let me say this. If Hilaire for Kansas City is in, then I'll take him over Zamir and all day long.
But Pacheco could be playing too. Both Pacheco and Edwards-Helaire are 50-50 whether they both go.
Damn.
Edwards-Helaire didn't even practice today. But they're thinking he plays. I think they both play. Swame, do you like Zamir White at 5,100? You was pointing up. You think he's going to be 40% rostered? But he does not catch the football. Does not catch.
At his price, I think this new Raiders, I think they've committed to running the ball and playing defense. I think that's how Pierce, has got this team going is by committing to the run. They throw it as well, but they've committed to the run. And they're there to play, defense for all 4 quarters. And I think that's the reason why the Raiders have been playing much better. So I think they'll continue to stick to that, which means he'll get his touches, even if they're not catches. And if he gets, 20, 25 touches, he goes for 100 yards, and then you hoping he gets into the end zone a couple of times. And I think if you don't have him, it could be a long day.
Really interesting. I think, well, I'm a little worried about the Raiders defense. I know they've been really good the last 2 weeks, but the Colts coach is a smart play caller. I don't know whether he's going to just let Max Crosby tee up on Gardner Minshew. And Michael Pittman's back this week. Michael Pittman's a pretty darn good player against zone defenses. Any interest in Pittman from either of you guys?
No, thank you. Not on this slate. I can't get to him. Like I said, I respect the Raiders. I respect the Raiders defense too much. They've been playing some ball.
I'm not mad at what you're thinking, Doc. And Pittman and Minshew have been formidable, but I just feel like the Raiders defense is just playing better than the Colts offense.
All right, Atlanta goes to Chicago. This game is, what's this point total? 38 here. They're both playing for their playoff lives. I will give you one player in this game who I think will go under-owned, but he shouldn't. I think Bijan Robinson is going to be under-owned, and Chicago lets up tons of receptions, tons of yards to opposing running backs. Bijan's going to cost you a couple bucks. Swami, any interest in Justin Fields? Any interest in Bijan? Any interest in this game?
Doc, short answer is probably no. It just seems like it won't be enough points in this game. If I had to give you a total right now, this feels like a 12 to 13 game somewhere in that, and I just don't see the points. I feel like the Falcons have, they play a little bit D, and I think they match up a little bit against Chicago. I don't think I like any of it enough to want to put it in the line.
But Willie, what if Bijan goes 7 catches for 70 yards and runs for another 40? I just gave up 18 points there.
I hear you, but what if Arthur Smith want to do something else? We're dealing with an idiot coach. So therefore, at that price point, the pay for him, I need to know he's going to get the ball.
What Arthur Smith should do in the offseason? He should trade Bijan Robinson to the Ravens. He should just get rid of him. He clearly doesn't like this guy, doesn't have a lot of confidence in him, and then play Algiers next year. I think that's the best thing for that organization and for Bijan.
Or how about just get rid of Arthur Smith and find a coach who actually understands football? Okay, nice try, Swami, trying to get his Ravens Bijan Robinson. All right, Carolina, Jacksonville. Couple of players here. Now, nobody on Carolina except the DJ Chark revenge game. I know you guys are all into that one. What about Travis Etienne? Is he in play here? I mean, you don't have Lawrence. Beathard can't throw the ball more than about 5 yards downfield. Could this be a game where they lean on Etienne, Willie?
Listen, without Lawrence, no thank you. No thank you. No thank you. I'm just gonna say no thank you. He could be ass TM. The way it is. With no Lawrence, they stack that box up and force you to beat him. No thank you. That's a pass for me for everyone in this game.
Swami, can you get on the DJ Chark revenge narrative here against the Jacksonville Jaguars, who do not play any pass defense?
After that game he had last week, Doc, I say not just no, but hell no. And I think maybe this week, if I played any of them, I might even go back to Thielen, but I think I'd stay away from Chalk after that game last week. I don't like it at all, but just because he had such a huge game, y'all know how this stuff goes. Everybody will go to him. His ownership is going to go up a few points, and then he's going to go right back to the chalk that we
No Chark chasing. All right, no Chark chasing for the Swami. Okay, here's a game that I think is more interesting. The Saints against Tampa. I could see this game going down 2 pathways. Pathway 1, 23-20, good game, not too high scoring. Pathway 2, both defenses maybe let up something not back there. Maybe Olave plays well. Maybe Mike Evans plays well. Maybe Godwin plays well. Maybe this game is higher scoring than people think. Willie, do you think this is low scoring, high scoring, like any players in this game?
I think it's just going to be a scrappy game. I think it's going to be scrappy. It's divisional. It means a lot to both teams. So, they're kind of priced up. You know what I mean? They're priced up to where you like, you're not getting a lot of value. I mean, if I had to take a shot, if you want to do something, Evans has just been balling. I mean, you could do it if you wanted to. You could do an Evans Olave stack, but I mean, I just think that, and I know Baker's been balling, but I just think that for some reason in this game, I'm just not going to get to a lot of people in this game. I definitely don't want to pay all that money for Kamara. I'm sorry, I'm not seeing everything in this game.
Swami, are we overlooking Olave? Are we overlooking Rashid Shaheed, who, if he catches one ball downfield, 1 for 41 and a touchdown, you're staring at 3x with one catch? Or do you just say, no, I'm not interested in this game?
Doc, I see the temptation. I see the reason I want to look at it because based on the matchups, I think, Olave, I think you could talk yourself in the Godwin. I'm sure White is going to have some fans out there as well. I think Kamara, I think for some reason, the targets that he got, I think the last time out the backfield, that could be interesting. Remember, he had 14 targets. He had 13 receptions, Willie, for 33 yards. Anyway, so I think there's a lot of reasons where folks will be tempted to play something in this game. But what I did not like was the fact that Carr was ineffective. He didn't play very well when they played. He's coming off of a couple of really good games. This is a divisional game. This just feels like a scrap. I feel like it'll be some points. I think right now the Bucs are probably still favored, especially what they were able to do the last game. So, Doc, I see the interest, but I just think that we got to find spots where we got, probably a little bit better situation.
All right, let's take a look at the Cardinals going to the Eagles. Now, I'm going to give you two ways to go about this game as well. Go with Philadelphia. Play Swift. Play Hurts. Play Smith. Play A.J. Brown. I could also, Willie, say Kyler Murray's looked pretty decent the last couple weeks. McBride's always in play. Do I put Kyler in with some Eagles and try to get a little stuff in that go-around? Heat Override says play DeAndre Swift. I totally agree with that. But maybe I'm doing Murray, Swift, Brown, or what do you think in this one?
I think that's not a bad way to go with Murray. I think Murray's a contrarian play. Am I going to have him? Probably not. But I can see where you're going here. It's just something about because Arizona's. Man, they just like with the Bears, they're a little scrappy too, man. They're scrappy. I mean, this team, they're scrappy, and I might take, I might do Arizona's tight end with Swift, something like that, just like just those two, but I'm not into this whole game, and I understand what you're saying about running again. I think Swift's a great play in this game. But then again, you got to watch out for the goal line because guess what happened? If it get within the 2-yard line, if there's interference, you know where it's going. We're doing the push tush, and Swift. That's the only thing that I'm not feeling Swift all the time because he's not guaranteed to get that. He has to run it from 5 yards and out. If not, I know what's coming. And it's. I don't blame him. I mean, if you got something that works almost 100% of the time, I'm gonna go to it too. So I think, like I said, I would look at Swift, but man.
Heat Override says, well, you got to pair them. Would you play Hurts with Swift?
Oh, no. I'm not playing Hurts and Swift. I would play Hurts with a receiver, not with Swift, because Hurts could take away some of that goal line stuff from him. I don't like that.
Swame, are you in on A.J. Brown? Are you in on Devonta Smith? Are you in on Dortch as like a bring back, maybe not McBride if he gets the Kevin Byard treatment here? What's your thoughts on this one?
Doc, it's not often where games that have high totals, I'm not very interested in. And so when it does, I feel I need to give a disclaimer. But I think Willie has already then nailed it. It's just not much here. Swift, who's probably got the best matchup, hasn't rushed for over 100 yards since, I think, week 3. They don't give him the ball a whole lot. He doesn't have a lot of touchdowns. He doesn't get a bunch of targets. Gainwell is too involved. Ertz takes it down by the goal line. The only thing you can hope for is a big play from one of the receivers on the outside. Goddard's not getting it enough. The Eagles are going to win. They're going to score. You just don't know how. They're going to move the ball around, and it's just not worth the price that you got to pay on a full slate, 10-plus games. I just don't think you can do it. And as far as the Arizona side of it, there's no way I would play anything over there. You can't trust Murray in his arm. He don't get into anybody on the outside. He only seems to see McBride over the middle or Connor out of the backfield. And if you like that combination, I don't think it's bad, right? I think it's viable to go Connor, McBride if you want to come back with somebody. I just don't like it.
All right, let's get to a game that I kind of like a lot here. San Francisco goes across the country to Washington, to Willie's Commanders, to 49.5 spot. I've got to think, gentlemen, that there's no way the 49ers don't put up 30 points in this game. Now, my only question is McCaffrey going to have 1, 2, or 3 touchdowns? If he has 3, then I don't want the stack. If he has one and I can do Purdy with Debo and CMC, Swami, I could be very interested in this stack. Are you as interested in this game as I am?
I'm not interested in the game. I'm interested in the stack. I don't think Washington, the Commanders, aren't going to be able to do much at all. This is not – block out your mind what you see in the Ravens do last week. Washington going to have all types of trouble. And then Mr. Brissett, who we had some hope in, he limped off the field. So we don't think he's going to be available. He did something to his hamstring today out there, maybe, I don't know. Who knows? Running from Willie or something. I don't know what happened. But I tell you what, old Mr. What you call him, Mahomes Jr. He more like Patrick from what's that called? SpongeBob. Then Patrick Mahomes talking about Sam Howell. He is terrible. And now that he's likely to play this week again, I don't like their chances at all. I like them a little bit with Brissett, but with him back, I don't.
So are you stacking Purdy, McCaffrey, and a receiver? What are you doing?
Purdy, McCaffrey, Debo. McCaffrey, based on some of the value on the slot, he's almost a lock. I think you can pencil him in for at least 25. If he gets the touchdowns, he'll get you up to where you're thinking, Doc. He'll get that ceiling game. I think there's no way he gets less than 25.
Willie, you love this game as much as we do?
Yeah, I mean, McCaffrey's almost a lock. And I don't know how much I'm going to get on the other pieces. I know McCaffrey, because of the value that we have on the slate, I know he would, if I got 20 lineups, he would probably be in 16 or 18, He's just a great play. I mean, listen, you saw what happened last week against, they're horrible against the run. And listen, as much as I respect the Ravens defense, I mean, McCaffrey was the only one that was, giving some. He earned my respect going against the Ravens.
Turned the ball over. So I think he could bounce back this week. I'm a little concerned with the stinger, but I think he's okay. He was able to practice. So Doc, I think this was a good one. I think we all agree.
All right, let's go to the Giants against the Rams. Giants play a lot of man coverage. I think that Kyron Williams has to be in everybody's player pool. I'm not saying you have to play him, but he's got to be in a player pool. I think Kupp, this feels like a Kupp week to me if I've ever seen one, because Puka was fed last game. But now I ask myself this, guys. Can I play Tyrod Taylor in this game and go cheap at quarterback? And maybe if I play Tyrod, I could get Kyron, I could get Christian McCaffrey in, maybe bring in, I don't know, Jalen Hyatt, Darius Slayton, something cheap like that. Willie, can you stomach going with a Tyrod Taylor so I can get Kyron Williams and CMC into my lineup?
Listen, Tyrod's a man of interest. At that price point, I think I would do a Tyrod Slayton, bring him back with Williams. I think that's a viable stack. Listen, Kyron Williams is just a beast. Is just a monster. And as much as I like, Puka, you don't know how it's going to go. It could go either way next week. It could be somebody else. The one that I like most from the Rams that I know is going to get the ball, that know that's going to get 27 touches, is Mr. Kyron Williams. I love him in this game. And I think Slayton. I don't think Slayton's a bad little get on this one. Even if you don't want to play Tyrod, you can play Slayton. I think Slayton is a man of interest on the slate.
Swami, I like where Heat Override's going. I think you could play Taylor. I don't know if I'm going to bring back a Giants receiver. If I also may like Darren Waller a little bit because the Rams are really bad against tight ends. I just don't want to pay up for it. Will you play Taylor in this game? Do you like Kyron Williams as much as we do? Do you like Kupp? What do you like?
Doc, which camera am I on? Where am I? Camera 3?
Camera 2.
Bring it in. Listen, not just yes, Doc, but hell yes. Tyrod Taylor is a good backup quarterback. Tyrod Taylor is serviceable. He can get it done. At 4,600, you're getting a bargain. You're getting a steal. And I think Willie, especially when we talk about big plays, Slayton's the guy. I'm not mad at Waller, but Waller's interesting as well in this game. And if you like anybody coming back, you could bring back Williams, you could bring back Kupp, you could bring back Nakua. If Tyrod Taylor just do what he do, I think he had 2 starts this season. The Buffalo game, I had his first one. I think that second one that he had will show you what he can kind of do. I know that was against Washington, but I think he can have a similar game here. This could be fantasy goodness if he's able to play well. I'm very interested in Tyrod Taylor. I think he could be one of the best values on the slate, if not the best value. And I think he's almost a lock for me at quarterback.
I like Tyrod Taylor too. I think that I may have two lineups this week, and one could have a Purdy or a Mahomes or something. The other one could be T-Square. All right, let's get to New England and Buffalo. Gentlemen, I want nothing to do with this game. Nothing.
Pass.
Not a thing. Pass. Next. Are we good with next?
I think we're very good with next. The only thing I'll mention here is at 2,300, I do have some interest. Buffalo was able to kind of, create a little bit of havoc for the Bills in Buffalo. So at home,
The Patriots defense?
Playing for jobs, it could maybe. I don't love it, but it's out there. I said I can't take it.
All right, Tennessee against Houston. Are people going to forget about CJ Stroud and how good he is? We haven't seen him in a couple weeks. Last we saw him, dude can ball. Nico Collins hasn't done much, but he's getting his boy back in CJ Stroud. Are we forgetting, Willie, how good these guys can be? I know Tennessee is a tough team because they play kind of slow, but, do you have any interest in this game? Maybe Hopkins revenge narrative thing going back to Houston? Talk to me.
I ain't got nothing to talk about. I'm scared he's gonna get hit in the head again, be out the game, man. I am not. Listen, yeah, I know, Mr. Override, but I'm not doing the guy. Tennessee's defense has actually been playing a little better. You know what I mean? They've been playing better. It's a divisional game. It's an important game. I think they might be playing it close to the vest. And I just don't think there's enough in here for me to want. I definitely want damn Derrick Henry. No, thank you. Because I think that's going to be a split. I like Stroud, but they don't got him. He's priced up enough, and I'm going to be having some Tyrod and a couple other quarterbacks I got interest in. So for me, I'm just gonna pass.
Swame, can you get into this game? Nico Collins' price went up $400, which is bothering me here because I want to play him. But at 7,200, I just don't know how I fit him in my lineup because I want McCaffrey and Kyron Williams in more.
Let me tell you, Doc, I'm not sure if you're a big fan of Beverly Hills Cop.
Yeah.
I suspect that you are, because we got a lot in common. But, Doc, I went for this banana in the tailpipe a couple of weeks ago with that bastard talking about the revenge narrative. And he got revenge, all right, on my lineups. And I'm talking about Mr. DeAndre Hopkins. So somebody who's able to be a good DFS mind will block that out and kind of play it and go back. Hey, he's coming back. I can't do it. But I tell you who did play well in that game. Singletary had 26 carries for 121 yards. I think he can do that again. And I also know if Noah Brown was able to have some success with 8 receptions, 82 yards, why couldn't Mr. Collins? And they did that, but that was okay Skeena. So I absolutely think C.J. Stroud can get going against the Tennessee Titans. And I think he is going a little bit under the radar this week because he's just coming back. So if he's able to go, if he's healthy, Doc, I think that could be a low-key sneaky stack where you're talking about, say, a Collins, Singletary, and Stroud.
I like it. No, I like it. Does it make my final 3 stacks, right? Does it make my final, if I have 3 lineups, if I play the 3 max, it feels like it's number 4, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like right there, but I don't know how I pull the trigger, but I hear you. I definitely hear you. All right, let's get to Miami and Baltimore. This is a 47 spot here, Swami. You are my Ravens guy. The Ravens always play better at home. Jalen Waddle will not be out there. Do you play a Tyreek Hill, or do you feel like this is a fade your Miami game, Swami? And if you like your Baltimore Ravens, is this a Lamar game? Because Lamar's from South Florida, always loves to play well against Miami.
Doc, first of all, let me say I accurately predicted the game last week in San Francisco. And I knew just based on the matchup, the kind of trouble that we would give them because they match up better with us. The 49ers look more like an NFC North kind of team. They play more of an NFC North kind of style, meaning they're physical on both sides of the ball. And so I figured it would be a different game. Now, typically, we would have trouble with the kind of speed that they have on the outside in Miami. But you have, I think, with Waddle out of there, I think that changes it a little bit. I still think the Dolphins play, they have shown that they played well this year with with Hill or Waddle out of the lineup. But still, I would think they'll be able to have the same game that they had the last time against the Ravens. So if you remember the last time we played them, Hill
28 points in the fourth quarter.
Right, 28 points in the fourth quarter. So that game will look just like that game looked without the 28 points in the fourth quarter. I think we'll rough them up pretty good. If Lamar gets it going, I think that makes him a man of interest. I think Miami can still have trouble with the Ravens offense, but I don't know if the Dolphins will be able to keep pace because of the injuries that they have at wide receiver.
Willie, what about Isaiah Likely? What about Beckham, who always plays well in a big game? I mean, Beckham lives for games like this where he can put it on TV and he can beat Miami. I mean, what about Tyreek? What about Cedric Wilson? Do you like any of these guys in this game?
First of all, Beckham is on suspension. He's on suspension. He's on the sideline too much for me. I had that little Beckham in the last game, and then he can keep his little 3 points. No, thank you on Mr. Beckham. I do have interest in Lamar and Zay Flowers. I like that combination. Or maybe you could do Lamar, Zay Flowers, and Likely. Something like that. I'm not liking too much on the Miami side of the ball. I mean, their prices. The prices that they are, and then I know about this Cedric Wilson you're talking about, or whoever you're talking about. Now, I'm just not interested. I respect the Ravens defense too much, and the way they make Mr. Purdy look pretty scared, in that game. I just don't have interest, especially when the Ravens are playing at home, because those fans are crazy as hell at home, man. They're crazy. So, and then Miami, and they're going no, thank you. I think that price. I don't want no part of Miami. Like I said, but I am interested in Lamar because I think Lamar can get his on. You know what? I think Lamar may run for, who knows? He might run for over 80 or 90 yards. And if you throw for 2 touchdowns, get in the end zone, Lamar can have a huge game. And I think Zay Flowers.
We owe them a little something too, right? They stole the last couple of games from us. And so for that reason, I think this could be a little get back for the Ravens.
The problem with Lamar for me, though, is he doesn't throw for 300 if he doesn't rush for a touchdown, because Gus Edwards is there. Gus Edwards is getting those cracks. It's not like it's Lamar time anymore.
Well, remember, he has against the Dolphins, right? Against the Dolphins, he's averaging about 33, 34 fantasy points over the 3 games he's played. I think he had the first game he threw for 5 touchdowns. The last game he threw for 3. So he's got about 9 passing touchdowns.
Wasn't that game in Miami? Wasn't that game where he threw for 5 in Miami?
The first 2 were in Miami. The last one was in Baltimore. The last one, he had 48 points, and that was in Baltimore. And again, 1 interception to 9 touchdown passes, and he ran it once. So we got 10 touchdowns to 1 against Miami, and he threw for 300 yards in 2 of the games.
All right, here's a question. If you're in a seasonal league and you could play, let's say, Brock Purdy or Lamar, who are you playing?
It's not close, Doc.
Lamar.
Yeah,
I'm just asking. Look, Brock Purdy's been pretty good this year.
Yeah, he has, but Lamar.
Not
All right, I'm just asking.
Don't be disrespectful. You play Lamar.
What did you see Monday night? Is this still a question who you play?
Okay, well, Lathan says here, he says Lamar's going for the MVP. Let me just say this. I'm going on record. Lamar is not the MVP. He has not had an MVP year, in my opinion. Christian McCaffrey is by far the best player in this league. He shows up every game.
But he's not. They're not going to give it to him. They always give it to a quarterback. I'm just telling you. I understand.
I know, but that's crap. Why does it always have to go to a quarterback?
I agree with you.
If you take McCaffrey off the 49ers, they're winning 6 games.
If you take Lamar
off the Ravens, they win in 3 games or 4 games.
I'm just look. Are you telling me Lamar's had an MVP year, or are they is he your best player on the team that's going to be the number 1 seed?
Well, you got to. Well, that's part of it, and also the way Purdy looked against the Ravens.
Well, I understand that, but one game is not an MVP game.
Yeah, well, it is. I'm gonna tell you when it's late in the year, it makes a big difference. That's why Lamar moved ahead in the MVP race.
Talk about big games. Touchdowns aside, C-Mac again, who I think is having the best season at running back of anybody. He's had 100 yards in half the games. The other half, he's below. So
how many passing touchdowns does Lamar have this year?
But it's what the offense is doing.
How many passing touchdowns does Lamar have this year?
But Doc, I think that's not.
Oh my God! I just want to hear a number.
Okay, let me see what Jackson's got.
Go to camera 2.
Passing touchdowns. You got look like 2, 4, 8.
Oh my God! I just
18, about 20.
You're going to give a guy with 20 passing touchdowns, 19, by the way, 19. You're going to give him the MVP?
Doc, if the offense is scoring 40 points and you take it away from him because he hands it off to Gus Edwards or one of these 4 running backs that they've played, then I think you would then miss the impact that he's having on the game if we only going off of that.
Look, I like Lamar. I do. I'm a Lamar fan. I'm just saying I don't think he's the MVP of this league.
So you get all the 1-yard touchdowns or 5-yard touchdowns that went to guys who probably didn't play most of the game. He's got 40.
No. I mean, look, that's true. If he got those touchdowns, I would agree with that. But he got
push, right? The offense. I don't know if that changes it, Doc. The impact.
I need to move on. I can't bear this anymore. Okay. Pittsburgh against Seattle. Seattle's a 3.5-point favorite, 41.5 points. Willie, Pickens went crazy. Do you like any Steelers? Do you like JSN? Do you like Metcalf? Do you like JSN? You like Geno? You like anything?
I think JSN and Metcalf are interesting. You can throw on Pittsburgh. I mean, you definitely could throw on them. I think they're very interesting. So this game might have a little fantasy goodness that people are not looking at. And remember, I think what's the name might be a game time decision now. The last I heard it, the starting running back for Seattle. And if that's the case, that means for me that Cabernet guy, whatever his name is, the guy that back up him.
Charbonnet.
Yeah, Charbonnet. He
Pinot Noir, whatever his name is.
Sabotle. Yeah, Sabotle. He will be very interesting to me because I think he can play. I really do. I think he has the good. So I'm hopefully that Walker gets ruled out. I think he's going to play. But I think this game, it could be a little interesting. I'm going to tell you, I know what he did that last game, but that's the way he throws. See, he throws differently than Pickett. He throws deep. He has a good arm. He has a strong arm. So he is definitely going to be in play now because that's the way he throws the ball. He has a good deep ball, So I mean, I'm not going to play him, but I'm just saying, I can see why, what's the name went off because the fact that this guy throws different. He doesn't throw. He throws on the corner. He throws deep. He's a deep ball thrower. So that's why it happened last game. And I wish I would have thought about it because he would have been an interesting guy. And so I mean, I'm not mad at this. I'm not mad. I think this game has interesting pieces in it. I think Metcalf and I think they're interested in this game.
Swame, here's my deal with Seattle. If you force them to open up, they will. Like if you score, they'll score. But if Pittsburgh doesn't score, Seattle's not going to score either. It's going to be like that game against Tennessee where it's going to be 17-14. And I'm worried this could be a stinker. I don't think Willie's wrong, but I think it could go the other way and it could go badly. Where are you at?
Doc, I think you're better than me. I think Willie's just wrong. I think it's okay to say it too, right? So I don't mind. I don't think Rudolph's some great find. I think he had a good game against a bad team. It started with first play going for 85 yards or something like that. An 80-yard touchdown and kind of come out and start. And then from there, they kind of got comfortable and settled in. And again, he finished that game with 290 yards, and he got most of that on like 2 or 3 big plays. It was an anomaly game. We'll see him come back down to earth. We'll see the cake come off, just like Sam Howell and all these other folks that Willie seemed to get excited about after a game or two. He'll be back to being normal. That offense will be back to being 3 yards in a cloud of dust. There's not a lot of fantasy goodness on that side. and you hope that you get something out of Seattle's side. They seem to stutter and stumble through the last couple of games. You know, since the Cowboy game with Metcalf, and then I think Walker had a game. It hasn't been much to get excited about for them. I could see you looking at this game, but this got stinker all over it. No stank you.
All right, no stank you. I agree. All right, 2 more games here. Let me go to the less interesting one first. Chargers against Denver. Jared Stidham will be the new quarterback there, Willie. Here's who I want in this game. There's maybe one person, and his name is Gerald Everett. Outside of that, I don't think I want anybody.
That's my guy. He probably going to be in most of my lineups, Mr. Everett. That's my guy. I like him a lot in this game. Going against
Denver. That's assuming Easton Stick can find him, right?
Yeah, but let me say this though. You keep saying about this, but they're going against the Chargers. Okay, Stidham in his 2 games that he had this the other day, last year, where he had 2 games. One he went for 26, the other one he went for 13 points. I'm just saying it's not. I mean, Stidham, is he the same price that Tyrod Taylor is?
Let me check.
No, he's 200 more.
I'm paying more for Stidham?
200. Oh, they still the same. That's right there.
So Willie, when he did so well, Willie, was he throwing for 280? Was he running? What was he doing?
He does them both. He runs the ball too. He runs. He's mobile. So that's why I don't mind taking a shot on somebody like this. I mean, and if Sutton's going to be out, I mean, I know he's been booty, but you could be Jerry Jeudy. You could be something like that. Yeah, he stinks. I get it. It's a vomit thing, but what I'm telling you is, you never know what these guys are going to do at that price. I mean, everybody's on time.
Out, Willie. Cortland Sutton is out. Cortland Sutton is out. Jerry Jeudy is questionable. He had an illness on Friday. He did not practice today. Marvin Mims did not practice with a hamstring. That doesn't sound good.
Okay, never mind.
A little Jordan Humphrey.
But
never mind.
Let me come to Willie's defense. Bring it close there. Let me help you out there, Willie, because you're onto something here. Because I think both quarterbacks are a little bit mobile. So let's not. They are Tyrod Taylor like in the fact that they're mobile, and both of them have had decent outings. So we've seen a little bit of film. With that being said, I'm not saying I like them at all with all those injuries, Doc. What I'm suggesting is that I think that kind of solidifies the play of Everett and possibly Javonte Williams in this game, but not the rest of it. But I think that the quarterbacks, if they're able to kind of convert first downs, not turn the ball over, we could see some points come out of it that could eventually go to the guys that we do like.
I think the only play here for Denver is Javonte.
Exactly.
If they play Javonte, what if they bring in McLaughlin?
No, I don't like Javonte. He stinks. Okay. I mean, when you looked at that game last time, it was McLaughlin that had the juice. If you ask me, it was McLaughlin that had the juice. So
he's had juice all season. He's had juice all season, McLaughlin.
And remember, he got hurt. I think he got hurt in that game. He got hit, and he was out of that game. Is he back healthy again?
Yeah, he's going to play.
But when you got to change that quarterback, Denver already likes to kind of, I think, wants to be more balanced. But I think that change is going to force them to probably run the ball a little bit more with Javonte. I don't think you can just, gild him.
Yeah, but listen, he doesn't get the ball enough for me to justify playing him on this slate.
He's going to get 20 touches this week.
He's not getting 20 touches. They split that up. He doesn't look good. I'm just telling you, I'm looking at the eyeball test. When McLaughlin was in that game, McLaughlin had some juice. And I think they go to Pierre. I mean, I'm just telling you. I can't play him.
Last game, McLaughlin had 6 carries for 37 yards, 4 receptions for 30 yards. It's pretty good.
Last 5, Williams.
And he got hurt in the third quarter. You remember that? He got hurt in the third quarter.
I'm trying to give you the facts. Williams has 21 carries. This is last 5 weeks. 21 touches, 17 touches, 20 touches, 14 touches, and then 14 touches and a touchdown.
So Michael Jackson looking for you. 20
is a far fetched. He's gotten it 3 times. So over the last 5.
So
Michael Jackson you're wrong.
For you.
So
he is what I call an empty carrying running back. Yeah, man, I don't like him. I mean, he stinks. He stinks.
What about Brandon Johnson as a cheap receiver in this one?
You know, that's the guy that I saw do something late last.
There's a few other Johnsons I might play before.
All I'm saying is if Sutton is out, Judy is out, and Mims is out, it's got to be Walls or blockers catching the football.
So you saying Humphrey might be out as well?
No, I'm saying Humphrey and Johnson might be your starting receivers.
I don't. Doc, if that's the case, that game might be off.
Do.
Yeah,
All right, let's get to my favorite game of the week, actually. The Bengals and Chiefs. Do not laugh. This game is a 44.5. I believe that Mahomes is bringing the heat this week. My favorite play in the entire slate is Travis Kelce. And if you don't have him, you're playing it at your own risk. Dude's going to score 2 touchdowns this week. I'm locking that sucker in. And if I can find the lineup in some way, shape, or form where I can get McCaffrey, Kyron Williams, and Travis Kelce in it, I will play it. Now, am I crazy, Willie, or am I crazy like a brilliant fox?
No, listen. I like Mahomes this game. I could do a Mahomes, Rice, Kelce. I really think, and especially if Pacheco was out, he's gone through so much turmoil. He is probably seething. Kelce has been through so much. Kelce has been cheeks, to be honest with you. But this is the get right spot. The get right spot. This is the get right spot. And for one time, I could say, and that's why I like him, because I like the double tight end, and I like bringing Everett back. I like a double tight end in this thing. I think it's a very interesting spot. I am very interested in Kansas City on this slate going against Cincinnati's defense. Cincinnati's defense has been awful lately. I think KC has a lot to prove. I think Mahomes, I think Kelce is very interested. For the first time, I do like Kelce, and this has been a long time since I played Kelce. So I like Kelce a lot. I think Rice is a play. Rice is a play too. Rashid Rice is a play. So
he's not a play like Kelce. Kelce is the play on the slate. I'm telling you. My only question is, do I play Mahomes with Kelce, or do I play Tyrod so I can get other guys? Because otherwise I need Kelce 3 times.
Yeah, I think that would be the better way to do it. Is put in. Hopefully Tyrod gives you 20. And when Tyrod impressed me is, I don't know if you remember that game they played against Buffalo. They played a game against Buffalo when he came in a game, and he really played well, and then he was injured, from that point on. But I'm just telling you, I think you can play it either way, but I do like playing Tyrod, and I think, paying up for Kelce, I think it's worth doing it that way. I think you could do it both ways, but I think Mahomes is going to get a minimum of 3 touchdowns in this game, a minimum. And they owe Cincinnati anyway, because Cincinnati been having that number. If you remember, for the last few years, Cincinnati been kicking them in the hind parts, besides in that championship game they had, but I'm talking about in the regular season. So I do like Kelce. I like Kelce a lot in this game, and I think Rice is interested. And if Hilaire is in there, I will love Hilaire. Hilaire will almost be a lock for me going against Cincinnati's defense. If he's the starter.
Swame, are you in agreement? Do you like Kelce? You like Mahomes, Pacheco, Edwards-Helaire, Chase may even play? Is this game fantasy goodness, my friend?
Doc, I'm not sure if you're a Men in Black fan, but go ahead and look deep into the camera. I'm going to go ahead and hit this thing so you can everybody out there can forget what he just said. First of all, it ain't no way. Those Kansas City Chiefs teams that were formidable, that were playing well, that were absolutely kicking butt, had trouble with this Bengals defense. And I'm talking about from a coaching standpoint. The Bengals, Wall said one thing. He said they got their number. The Chiefs have not changed their number, and the Bengals have not forgotten the number. They still got their number. They know how to play them. With that being said, I like Mr. Kelsey in this game. I don't like his price, but I like Mr. Kelsey in this game. They had trouble with Frymouth. They had trouble with Ingram, even though they came back last week and they gave it up. And I'm talking about the game with the Steelers and Bengals. They gave it all up to the outside. They still had trouble covering, and they still had trouble in that back end. But they play this team a little bit different. I think that if Pacheco isn't there and they can't run the ball, they struggle mightily against these Bengals. I don't think they're going to have any success. Mahomes in this offense is already struggling, and when you're struggling, you don't want to see a team that has your number. I would be cautious about playing these guys. I would be very cautious.
I disagree because Cincinnati's defense is not the same as they were. They lost their best run stoppers, gone.
Right, DJ Reader's out.
They've been getting killed. And their defense has been getting killed. They made Rudolph look like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer last week. So bad. They stunk. Ain't no anomaly. Their defense have stunk. They have stunk.
And when you
their defense is ass.
And when you
this is a get right spot for Kansas City in this game because they're not the same team. Kansas City will score 30 points on these rascals in this game. I'm telling you. Right. This is a get right spot.
I just want everybody out there to hit the other side. We've heard your side. It's not a get right spot. They haven't gotten right in weeks. They're just not right. They didn't get right against New England. They didn't get right against Green Bay. They didn't get right against the Raiders.
New England can play. New England got a defense.
I won't tell y'all fans out there. I won't tell you about every division, Doc, but I'm gonna tell you about the AFC North. It is no cupcake games. You're gonna have to bring it. You're gonna have to be physical. And this team right now, the Kansas City Chiefs, are not capable of doing that. And just like he said, the Bengals have lost some stuff, lost some pieces, aren't playing well. The Chiefs aren't playing well at all, and the stats prove it. Mahomes, 14 fantasy points, 20 and 17. He's struggling. They're struggling, and they're going to struggle in this game. Even though they might put up a touchdown or two, it's not going to be the same old Chiefs. No, sir.
All right. Willie, I need your stack, my friend. What is your stack of the weekend?
The stack of the weekend, I'm going to go against him just because he said that. Give me Kelsey, give me Rice, okay? Give me Kelsey and Rice, and give me Tyrod along with that. Or I might be playing Mahomes and Rice, and also go ahead. That's it. I like Kansas City.
That's a weird stack.
I like Kansas. Well, you talk about my weird stack. Yeah, my stack that you didn't like last week went off. The Cleveland Browns stack.
That's not
that stack was on point, sir. That stack was on point. It was on point, sir. It was on point. It was 3 pieces. It was on point. That thing was with fire.
What stack are you referring to?
By the way, I think Joe Flacco should be the MVP this year.
But wait a minute.
Hey,
are you talking
Flacco been balling?
You talking about Joe Flacco?
He said Flacco, Cooper, and Njoku last week.
Oh, Doc, Doc, listen, I read the Zen Master articles all the time. That was out 3 days before Willie even said anything about it. But sure.
No. No, you didn't have no. I didn't see you have Cooper in that. No, you said no, you didn't, sir.
It's documented.
No, you didn't, sir. I had Flacco. No, he did. Because you don't like Flacco. You let your personal bias get in your way, sir. You let your personal bias. Well, I just say, you know what, Mr. Flacco? You go in there. Don't listen to Swame. You listen to me. You go ahead and play. And he went off last week, baby. He went off. Went off. Boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom.
I come out openly and I talk about my bias with Flacco, but he was in the Zen Master article and you can read it yourself. So,
Swami, who's your stack? Swami, who's your stack? Give me the Swami stack.
Well, since I can't read somebody else's stack and steal it, I guess I'll come up with my own, Doc. So here's who I'm going to go with this week. And Doc, I've given you a couple of sleepers here, but let me first give you
some of them been sleep. Go ahead.
You are a player hater, sir. So Doc, let me give you first what I'm going to call the one I think you already tracking. I'm not going to give you Purdy with C-Mac and Depot. Doc, no. I wouldn't do anything like that. That's not the Swami style. So as I'm obviously sitting here buying time, Doc, don't you worry about that either. I'm going to go with this week.
I give you another way of thinking. Give me Tyrod. Give me Slate. Give me Kyrie Williams.
This is really good radio. This is really good radio.
Give me Williams. Give me Tyrod. Give me Slayton. I like that too.
He's looking to steal my stack, right? That's real.
Oh, hold up! You taking so long? I'm trying to help you out, sir.
That's real bush league. I was gonna go with a true stack and then bring a guy back with it, but I'll let him have that stock.
Were you gonna say Stafford? Were you gonna say Stafford, Kyron?
No, I was thinking Taylor, Slayton, Waller coming back with Cup or coming back with Williams, but I'll let him have it. That's so it's amateur. So, Doc, my stack this week, the one I'm gonna give you, because I think you already mentioned this too. You hinted on this, so I want to acquiesce. I'm gonna go with Derek Carr, Olave, and I'm trying to think if I'm interested in going with Mr. Kamor, Mr. Rashid, and then I'm gonna bring it back with either Godwin and maybe even my guy.
That's taking a chance. I like it. That game could be stack worthy. I'll give you my game that I think could go. I mean, look, I like Kansas City. I like San Francisco. I'm not going out on a limb there. I think the Texans. I think Stroud to Collins has some sex appeal to me.
I like that, Doc, but you got to put Singletary in there. For some reason, I just feel like he has to be in that mix.
All right, I can go with that. I can go Stroud, Singletary, Collins. I don't even need to bring back, to be honest with you, from Tennessee. It only gets in my way. I can go with that. All right.
Who wouldn't be a bad bring back if you a Congo?
Oh, yeah. I mean, he especially because the Texans, are poo against tight ends. All right, Willie, I need the balls to the walls call from Willie Walls. Who you got, my friend?
Mr. Everett. That is my guy. 3,500. He will be in most of my lineups.
Gerald Everett.
Gerald Everett. I like the Gerald Everett.
Doc, can you set some rules here? You can't be that chalky and call it balls to the wall, Doc. Doc,
listen. What you want me to do? Or do you want me to pick Slayton? How about Slayton? You want me to get Slayton? I do Slayton.
Why are you so in love with Slayton? Why Slayton?
I like Slayton.
Just chalky.
He's not chalky.
Why don't you say Hyatt? Hyatt's interesting. Slayton's boring.
That would be balls to the wall.
I told you I like Everett. I'm an Everett guy. Everett's going to be.
All right, let Willie have Everett, Swame.
More like
who does Oliver want?
More like fallopian tubes to the walls.
who does Oliver like this week?
Doc, I think I already mentioned his name, and I think I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna go with him. I'm gonna give you Mr. Adam Thielen this week. That's
Mr. Adam Thielen. Interesting.
Little kahunas, less.
Yeah. All right. You guys dismissed me before, and I don't know whether this is chalky or not, but I'm going to say Bijan Robinson. I'm going to say nobody likes playing the dude.
That ain't chalk.
I'm going to say that Bijan – is he chalk?
That ain't chalk. No, sir.
That ain't chalk, right? Bijan Robinson, he's going to catch 7 for 70. He's going to run for about 40, and right there I got myself 18 if he finds the end zone.
If he catch 7 for 70 and run for 40, that's not enough at his price point.
What if he finds the end zone by accident? I get 23 and I'm good.
I'm hoping he gets 7 snaps.
Oh my God! I'll take the over on that.
I mean, Arthur Smith got to be the if he not out of Atlanta by next year. Listen,
how about by next week?
Agreed. Please.
But all jokes aside, I think he can have a similar game to what Connor had last week.
Right.
If he was the featured back, and that's what I don't trust. It's not just Smith; they just don't. I don't know what it is.
Look, if I'm trying to take down a GPP, I don't trust something in my lineup. There's got to be something that I don't trust. If it's a cash lineup, I want guys like Zamir White, right? I want guys I can trust.
Right. But we want guys who we trust to play, not that we don't trust not to play.
Yeah.
If you tell me he's I will be with you. But
I don't want to take a chance if the bomb could go off. You don't go off when we say, what's about a 40% chance you would do it?
Look, he fumbled in the first.
Look, don't give me that look. When he goes off, you will be getting a text that you were wrong. That's it.
I got it. I get it. But you're right. But if he fumbles, you know where he's going.
then I'm going to get the text saying that I'm an idiot. I get it.
No, I'm not going to say that, Doc. But if he fumble in the first quarter, they could take him out for the rest of the game.
Forever. We'll never see another snap. Right. All right. We wish everybody a great week. We wish everybody a happy new year. We'll be back next week for week 18. This is Dr. Roto for Willie and Swame saying be well and take care.
Thanks for stopping by the office. Get your fantasy prescription by subscribing to the channel and checking out drroto.com. And until the next visit, be well and take care.